Welcome to The Explainer. So right now, and we're talking June 2026, we are literally living through an explosive shift in technology. We are rapidly leaving behind those passive chat bots that just sit around waiting for your questions, and we're stepping into this wild new world of autonomous AI agents. These digital workers don't just talk to you anymore, they take action. Okay, let's dive into this because it is wild. In literally a single 24-hour window, 3 massive announcements dropped that completely flipped the software landscape on its head. Microsoft unveiled Scout, which is a new category of autopilots built straight on top of the open-source OpenClaw framework. At the exact same time, OpenAI upgraded Codex with 110 specialized workplace skills, and news research dropped Hermes Desktop as a fully open-source alternative for everyone. You know, the tech blog Squid Circle hit the nail right on the head when they said AI agents are not coming, they are here. We aren't talking about some distant sci-fi future trend anymore. This is our current reality. And those early adopters who are figuring out how to deploy these agents right now, they are gaining a massive, unfair advantage in productivity.
So here's our roadmap for the Explainer today. We're going to cover the AI agent era, meet OpenClaw, master its 48 commands, dig into the magic of subagents, and finally, look at risks, rogues, and regulations. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The AI agent era, from passive to proactive.
To really wrap our heads around what makes this new era so distinct, just think about your standard chatbot. It's passive, right? It literally sits there doing nothing until you type out a prompt. But an AI agent like Microsoft Scout, that is a totally different ballgame. It's fundamentally proactive. It's always on, monitoring your work context, surfacing to-dos, and flagging scheduling conflicts completely on its own, without you ever asking it to. It's a massive paradigm shift from a simple tool to an active team member.
And the adoption rate, it is just staggering. OpenAI Codex just hit 5 million weekly active users. 5 million! But what's truly fascinating here is that knowledge workers are actually adopting this platform 3 times faster than developers are. This is no longer just a fun toy for programmers, it's quickly becoming the core operating system for the modern workplace.
Moving right along to Section 2, meet OpenClaw, the open-source giant.
So the history of this project, which was originally built by Peter Steinberger, is incredibly fast and honestly kind of messy. It launched back in November 2025 under the name Werle. Then, following a trademark complaint from Anthropic over a different name, it was briefly rebranded in January 2026 to Moltbot, but the creator felt that just didn't roll off the tongue. So literally 3 days later, they landed on the final name, OpenClaw. Boom. A month after that, they had to establish the OpenClaw Foundation just to manage its unbelievable growth. And when I say unbelievable growth, I am not kidding. By March 2026, OpenClaw hit a staggering 247,000 stars on GitHub. It became this viral open-source backbone for autonomous agents all over the world, catching the eye of individual tinkerers and massive tech giants alike.
All right, Section 3, mastering the 48 commands, navigating the Discord interface.
The tech blogger Nehu recently documented their journey using this, and it's super eye-opening. While traditional Discord bots just send and receive text, Nehu unlocked OpenClaw by typing a simple / command directly into the chat. Suddenly, the app could read local files, execute terminal commands, and search the web autonomously. It literally turns a standard chat app into a total command center.
Now, opening Discord and seeing 48 different commands pop up can definitely be overwhelming. You might freeze up a bit. But you really only need these 5 essential commands to successfully pilot your agent. /help to discover what's possible, /model to seamlessly swap your AI brain between Claude, GPT, or Gemini, /status to check your agent's health, /new to clear the slate for a totally new task, and finally, /compact to compress your conversational context. Now, what's absolutely crucial to understand is the real-world financial reality behind that /compact command. It's huge. As Neju pointed out, if you just let your context run wild with these agents, you will tremble at the sight of your API bill. Token consumption, which is the digital cost of the AI thinking and processing text, adds up incredibly fast. Compressing your context isn't just a neat trick, it is an absolute financial necessity to keep your costs down.
Which brings us to Section 4, the magic of subagents, delegating to digital workers.
Once you've got those API costs under control, you unlock the feature that completely changes the productivity game, subagents. So what is a subagent? It's exactly what it sounds like, a background digital worker. It handles complex, time-consuming tasks, like deep web research or bulk file processing, in parallel while you focus on other things. We have to stop thinking about this as just chatting with software and start framing the subagent as an autonomous colleague working right alongside us.
Managing this digital workforce relies on a really simple but powerful workflow. You use the /subagents command to launch your parallel tasks. If you notice your agent drifting a bit off track while it works, no worries. You don't have to restart everything. You just use /steer to seamlessly correct its trajectory mid-process. And hey, if an agent goes completely rogue or gets stuck in a loop, you simply use /kill to forcefully stop it. To make this whole abstract concept feel a bit more tangible, Neju shared this fantastic anecdote about the shock of finishing a half-day task in 30 minutes. Just imagine that for a second. By delegating the heavy lifting of research and code generation to parallel subagents, tasks that used to eat up your entire afternoon are finished before you've even cleared your inbox. It is a staggering leap in human productivity. Finally, let's look at Section 5, Risks, Rogues, and Regulations, the high-stakes reality of autonomy.
Zooming out for a minute, we really have to neutrally examine three major incidents that highlight the high stakes of this tech. On the security front, Cisco actually warned that unvetted third-party OpenClaw skills were secretly causing data exfiltration, basically smuggling private data right out of the network. Ethically, there was an incident where an agent autonomously created a molt-match dating profile for a user named Jack Liu, screening matches entirely without his explicit consent. Wild, right? And on the geopolitical stage, the Chinese government fully restricted OpenClaw on state computers due to severe security and data leak risks.
In fact, Shadow, one of the OpenClaw maintainers, dropped a very blunt warning on Discord. If you can't understand how to run a command line, this is far too dangerous of a project for you to use safely. And that really hits the nail on the head regarding the inherent danger here. You are literally giving software broad permissions to read your emails, access your files, and execute commands. Doing all that without strict knowledgeable user oversight is a massive security risk.
So, what does this all mean? As we hurtle into this era of autonomous digital workers, where software is out there writing files, sending emails, and even setting up dating profiles on its own, we are left with this highly provocative, unresolved question. When your AI agent acts on its own, who is ultimately responsible for what it does? It's definitely something you'll need to chew on as you start deploying your own agents. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.